So, Adrian, what does the Challenge Cup mean to you?
Oh, it's massive. Growing up, that was the biggest game on the Rugby League calendar when it was first past the post. Growing up, it was the be-all and end-all, and used to go down watching anyone who was there. Wigan were the dominant team back in the day, but it was great going watching, but then to be part of it as a professional was fantastic. You know, I went down with Leeds, we won it with Leeds, and I went down with Warrington as captain and won it 3 times with Warrington. So yeah, very, very fond memories, and it's something very special.
And any particular memories as a child watching the Challenge Cup growing up, any standout moments?
Actually, I'd just signed for Leeds, so I was 16-year-old, and I got to travel down with the Leeds Academy, and it was just good to wear the Leeds tracksuit and be part of the team. But then it was when Martin Afire scored that wonderful length of the field try, and even though I was cheering on Leeds that day, you've just got to tip your hat off and say that was one of the best tries ever, not just in a Challenge Cup final. So to do it on that stage, I thought it was quite an amazing try and an amazing piece of sport. And
you mentioned though, when you went to Warrington, you managed to win the trophy 3 times in 4 years, I believe, which is some feat. What did that mean to you and the club?
Well, I'd not been captain long, so it weren't until the final whistle when I realised it was me who's got to go up to receive the trophy. But it was great for me personally, but I was just delighted for the club as well. They'd not been in a final for a long time, and they'd not won it for even longer. It was 35 years since Warrington got their hands on the trophy, and getting that win, it meant a lot to the town, to the club, and they were no longer the nearly men and the bridesmaids. They were genuine contenders, and when you have a bit of success, you want more and more. And getting the win in 2009, that made us want more, and I think that was the inspiration really to go down the following year to defend the cup, which is not an easy thing to do. Then we skipped a year, but then we won it again in 2012. But it was great. When you get to any major final, it's a big achievement for your career. But to do it, in such a short space of time, and lots of the team were the same players. So to do it with that bunch of guys was amazing.
Yeah, you touched on that, ending that 35-year run with that squad. What does that mean to you, just to help Warrington and finally get that Challenge Cup and get over the line?
Yeah, it was a big monkey off our back really. Warrington under Simon Moran, they'd been threatening and for a while. They always had a fantastic squad, but they never quite got over the line. So getting that win under Tony Smith as coach was massive for the town. And they've gone from strength to strength now. They've won it a number of times, made a few grand finals without actually getting the win. But the Challenge Cup, it's got a special place in the Warrington faithful hearts.
And winning 2009, then going in 2010 and winning it again back to back, was there more pressure on you guys to defend that title?
I don't think there's more pressure, but the fact that we did get the victory, we realised how good an experience it was, and I think that did give us the, as I mentioned, the inspiration. And once you've tasted success, you want more and more. So it wasn't hard trying to rev the boys up that year, and we got on a good roll. I mean, it does tend to look at the draw quite literally. So we did get a good run, but making the final again, it was against Leeds, who'd had it was a different proposition to Huddersfield. No disrespect to Huddersfield, they'd not won the cup for I think 50 years. So whoever won the cup in 2009 was going to win it for a long time. But Leeds, one of the powerhouses of Super League, it was different going up against them. But having got there, we found a way to win, and I think the second year was probably more satisfying than the year before, definitely.
Now, going into a Challenge Cup final, what kind of player was Adrian Morley like before in the change room? Are you nervous and pacing, or are you pretty amped up and excited for it?
But excited, really. I mean, early on in my career, I used to get nervous. Used to get really nervous before games. But as you get older and you get more experienced, the nerves get less and less. But when I used to hate being nervous, but when I weren't nervous, I used to miss it in a strange way. So the Challenge Cup finals and internationals and grand finals, you get nervous anyway. So I enjoyed the build up. You do get a lot more publicity and press for finals and Challenge Cup finals. So absolutely love the build up and the actual game. You know, it's not every day you get to play in front of huge crowds and big TV audience, that kind of thing. So if you can't get fired up for games like that, you know, you're in the wrong game. So love the build up, love the game, and loved everything about the final.
So you mentioned that you went from maybe being a bit of a nervous player before the game to excited. So how would you say the Adrian Morley who won it in '99 with Leeds was different to the one who won it 3 times with Warrington?
Well, it was 10 years later, and you know, I had a lot of experience in terms of games under my belt at this point, and I was captain at this point. So you know, being captain wasn't something that I took lightly. I was very proud to captain Warrington, and you know, there's an added responsibility. But I still loved it, you know, taking the boys down there, and but yeah, the build up and the fact Warrington had not been there for such a long time, and the fact we got the win, it was you know, it was absolutely brilliant. And you know, them memories, just little things like, you know, coming home and on the bus, and then the open top bus around Warrington, all these little factors, going to the Warrington Town Hall, and you know, being a celebration afternoon with the mayor, and just things like that. It was, as I say, memories that'll stay with me for life. And
in those Challenge Cup finals, can you tell us about some of the players who maybe stood up on those days who rose to the big occasions? The first one, Michael Monaghan was outstanding. He got the Landstod Trophy. The second game, Lee Breers, I mean, he was. When Lee Breers played well, we all played well as a team. He had that kind of impact on a game. So we always used to try and keep Breezy in a good mood, and we'd play poker the night before. We'd always let him win just so we'd go into the next day in a good frame of mind. Breezy was outstanding in the second final, and on the third victory, Brett Hodgson, he had a bit of adversity. He got knocked out off Kylie Lulai, but then played the full game, and he had an outstanding game. So yeah, them 3 boys who got the Landstod, I'd like to single them out for special mention. And going into the final this year, this final's at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so a little bit different to Wembley and the old Wembley. Have you seen much of the stadium? What do you think of it? I've not, to be fair, but I believe it's, you know, a fantastic stadium. I believe it's a state-of-the-art stadium, and yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to, and it's just great for Rugby League that we get to play in these world-class facilities. So yeah, I can't wait. And on stadiums, let's go through some of your Challenge Cup victories specifically now. By year 1999, you got to play at the old Wembley. What was that like? It was fantastic. It was the last ever final before they knocked it down. So we knew we weren't going to get another opportunity to play at the Twin Towers. But Leeds had been there a couple of times in the 90s, 94 and 95, without getting the win against the great Wigan side. But this year it was against London Broncos. You know, they were in Super League and doing particularly well. But we went down there with a great squad, very confident, and we didn't go according to plan. We were getting beat 10-0 halfway through the first half. I thought, this is not in this weren't in the script. But we regrouped. I think we're coming at half time 12-10 winning, and then the second half, once we got our noses in front, it ended up scoring a record amount of points. So we scored 52 points. Leroy Rivette scored 4 tries, which had never been done in a final before. So, and yeah, it was amazing. Just getting the win was great. But I remember after the final whistle, I looked up and I seen my 2 brothers and my dad up in the crowd, and that was really emotional seeing them guys. But yeah, it was great. That must be a great feeling when you look up and see your brothers and your dad. Like you've got to the pinnacle, haven't you? Really. Yeah. I mean, my dad used to go down every year with his local pub, so it made it really fitting that I was there playing, and my brothers there jumped on the bandwagon. But it really was emotional. You know, when you do get a victory like that, you're emotional anyway. But you know, you feel as though you're doing it for your family. And you know, when I seen them, I don't mind admitting I was crying my eyes out on Wembley pitch. But a nice emotion. And you touched on briefly there, Leroy Rivette scored 4 tries, which had never been done before. I think Robbie Paul had scored a hat-trick a few years before. What do you remember from Leroy's performance? Fantastic, yeah. He'd not been in the first team long, Leroy, and he took his tries very, very well. And you know, one of them was, I think might have been an intercept, full length, but I was delighted for Leroy. And you know, that was definitely his, you know, that game put him on the map without a doubt.
So then it was obviously you went down under for a little bit to play for the Roosters. You came back to play for Warrington, got to the final in 2009. What do you remember from that game?
Well, our Super League form was terrible. Tony Smith had joined the club after about 5 games into the 2009 season. We was going terrible, and as I say, our Super League form was still poor, but we just kept winning the cup, winning, and we found ourselves at Wembley. And I remember the game before Wembley, we played Hull KR at home, and we got a good hiding actually. So confidence wasn't particularly high, I don't think, but we just had to forget about our Super League form and go down there. But the build-up was great, you know, staying in these nice hotels and doing the Wembley walk, and you could sense a feeling that the boys were going to perform on the day, and we did. The scoreline was reasonably close, but I felt we was a lot better than the scoreline suggested. I don't think Huddersfield ever troubled us, and you know, 20 minutes to go, I knew there was only going to be one winner. Final whistle went, and then you know, I got to hold up the trophy, but I actually asked Lee Breeze to come and pick the trophy up with me. Just thought it was quite fitting. Breeze had been a captain for a long time before I was captain, and you know, he was very inspirational in getting us there, and he had a massive hand in the victory. So I just thought, you know, if we only get a chance to lift it once, it'd be, as I say, fitting for him to lift it with me, and you know, something he was very excited and keen to do. And you know, he phoned me up a couple of days later, drunk in a pub. Oh, I can't thank you enough for that, Maz, which was nice. I mean, it was lovely, you know, for him to do that. But I just thought it was, yeah, I thought it was fitting for him to get his hands on the trophy.
And when we were talking before, we mentioned that ended the run for Warrington. In the build-up, did you use that as motivation, or did you kind of ignore the 30 odd years, 35 years, I believe it was? That you...
No, we just ignored it. We just treated it like, I mean, it's very hard not to get caught up in the razzmatazz and the build-up, but we just treated it like another game. And you know, if pressure was on us, Huddersfield had not won it for over 50 years, so there was a bit of pressure on them as well. They'd been in a Challenge Cup final more recently than us, but no, we didn't use it as motivation. But yeah, we just felt with the squad we had, we weren't there to make the numbers up, and we'll go out and give it our all, and it was good enough.
And then you move on to 2010, and you managed to defend the title. Was that difficult? Did you feel like teams were coming out to try and knock you out as champions? Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you want a notch on your belt whenever you know you're playing against the current champs or the current holders. You want to knock them off just to say, you know, we showing them who's boss. So we did feel as though teams were coming at us, but we were ready to defend it. We loved the experience the year before, and we wanted more of it. And thankfully, we went all the way down to Wembley again, and playing Leeds Rhinos, who were the different proposition, but we got the win again.
And Leeds, a former team of yours, did that make any difference for you personally?
No. I was there to do a job for the Warrington Wolves. I still like to see Leeds do well. Still got lots of friends at the club, but you know, wherever you play, that's your goal, and that's who you're doing the job for.
And then 2011, obviously, so you got knocked out and lose the title. So in 2012 was there then added motivation to get back there after you've had a year without it?
Yeah, we got knocked out off Wigan in the quarter-finals in 2011. Yeah, 2011. They went on to actually win the cup, so at least we can say we got knocked out off the winners. But yeah, it was a motivation. The following year, you know, we felt, you know, we loved the experience, and we felt we want to be in these major finals. We want to go down to Wembley, and yeah, that was a big motivation. And again, we got to the final. We played Leeds again, and I remember the conditions. It was a fine day, and then just all of a sudden, the clouds come over, and it just started raining profusely. But it didn't impair our performance. Leeds give us a great game, but just got them at the back. So probably about 15 minutes to go, we got our noses in the front, and we held on.
And captained Warrington in all 3 of those Challenge Cup victories. What's it like standing in that tunnel, getting ready to lead the side as captain?
It's amazing. Yeah. So you just hear the buzz and the roar of the crowd, and then you know, win or lose, it's going to be an incredible occasion. You obviously want to win. But yeah, just as I mentioned, the build-up before, you know, when you win the semi-final, it's a little bit different this year, but there used to be about 5 or 6 weeks break until the final, so you got all them weeks and time to build up. But the actual week of the final, it's very intense but also very enjoyable, and game day is amazing when you're lining up, all the hairs standing up on your neck, and you go out and sing the national anthem, sing Jerusalem, Land of Hope and Glory. It's all these little factors that makes it such a special day. And
then obviously when you get to the end and you've won the Challenge Cup, talk to us about what it's like walking up those steps and lifting that trophy above your head.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to put into words, but it's a bit of a relief. When you have won it, all the build up, it would have been a nightmare to lose. But once you've got the win, you do a lap or two and thank the crowd, and constantly hugging your teammates and the coaching staff. And then when they say now it's time, and then it's just for me it was such a proud moment. Every step, I wish it lasted forever, the moment, but all the boys behind you, and then when you get up, you get the trophy off the dignitaries, and as soon as you lift it, the full stadium erupts, and it was it's getting me excited just thinking about it. And
of the 4 Challenge Cup victories, are there any that stand out as a favourite?
They're all special in their own way. I'd probably say 2009. That's when the first time Warrington won it in such a long time, and I was captain the first time I lifted the trophy. So I'd probably say 2009 if I had to pick.
And then just finally, I've got Wigan Huddersfield in this year's final. What are you expecting from that?
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm good friends with Ian Watson, the Huddersfield coach, and he's worked wonders, only with Salford and now with Huddersfield. So he's proved it's not a fluke making these major finals, and I still think there's a bit of improvement to come from Huddersfield. He's still stamping his authority on on his team. But Wigan, they've got a great history in the Challenge Cup. I think Wigan will start as favourites, but it's a mouth-watering clash, and I can't wait to watch it down at the Tottenham Stadium.
And just finally, what would you say to fans who are maybe 50% thinking about going? What would you say to them to encourage them to go down to Spurs?
No, get down there. It's an event. It's a massive event in the Rugby League calendar. Get down there. You don't even have to be a Wigan or a Huddersfield fan. You just need to be a Rugby League fan to watch a world-class sport in a world-class venue. Some of my fondest memories are of going down as a kid with my dad, or taking my kids now. So get down there, take the family down, and it's a wonderful experience.